Let's quickly go back to Kumbi, Abulade. I don't know what's the latest where you are right now, Kumbi. Maybe you want to first of all begin from what the candidate of the PDP was saying at that time when we couldn't hear him.
All right, so the candidate of the PDP actually expressed dissatisfaction for the entire voting process here at this polling unit in Ugele Arokon Ward. 006 polling unit in Ikerre local government area. He has cast his vote, but he said that the process, because of how the Beavers hasn't been able to recognize some elderly persons, and he has charged the entire voting process useless. And so he actually left here in a very angry mood, but he said he was going to stick around and ensure that all his people exercise their franchise and cast their votes here. But I also do have an observer here, an election observer, who would also speak to us because he has also been monitoring the process. And so he's going to tell us what he has seen so far. Good morning. What's your name, please? So what have you noticed or observed here today?
Oh, for some reason, Kumbi, we can't hear him. I hope he's not as angry as the PDP candidate, but from the we can't hear him. I hope that you can hear me. So, if there is a way we can readdress that particular process, we would like to very much understand exactly what the observer is saying, because his opinion is very important.
It's very valid, and he also seems, he was speaking so fast, he seems to be angry as well at something. Well, if the PDP candidate can be angry, which means there's a process, there's something to be annoyed about, and we will get that. But let's get to our political editor, Seun Okinbaloye, who's also waiting to give us an update of this process where he is. Seun, good morning. If you can hear me, give us a quick update where you are. All right, pardon me. I'm guessing Seun will join us a little bit later. He's still trying to get ready with his updates. But we can go back to Kumbi Aboluwade. Kumbi, if you can hear me, let's have those words from the election observer that you were speaking to right now.
Okay, so the election observer actually said that he has noticed that some areas, some polling unit areas are compromised. And that's just like this one, which the Beavers isn't working. He doesn't understand the process and what INEC is doing during this election, because, they've assured us that this election will go on smoothly. They are ready, prepared, and all of that. But this is the election day, and we're seeing somewhat an entirely different thing from what they had promised us. But right here, we've also spoken to some voters who have also said that they are not quite happy with how the process is going. And they also made reference to years back and how this particular polling unit is always, having issues during election period, during election day. And so they're not happy, and they're calling on INEC to immediately rectify this. We've seen some elderly persons. I even had to speak with one elderly woman who said she wasn't feeling too fine, but that she came out to exercise her franchise and civic responsibility, but that she's going to still wait and see if she's able to cast a vote at the end of the day. But so far, so good, we're still here. I mean, a process that started somewhat good, orderly, became, disorderly, and people start shouting. The presiding officers, started getting voters to line up because they were agitating and saying that they can't go on with this process and they feel cheated, entire process. So that's what they are right now at this particular polling unit. But just right across, we're far off from here. It's polling unit 008. I did observe that some persons, some elderly persons, were being assisted by, individuals who are also voters. But yeah, we also noticed or observed a large turnout of voters at that polling unit. I don't know if you can hear some voices right behind me, but this is the mood of voters at this polling unit. They are tired. They say they've waited for more than 1.5 hours, and they are yet to, cast their votes. The process started at 8:30, but I think up to 10 persons have, cast their vote at this polling unit because we've been here monitoring the process.
Right. Kumbi, what have you spoken with any of the INEC officials? Have they been able to offer any explanation as to why the Beavers machine or the voting process is stalled in that way, or why the Beavers machine is not recognizing some people?
So I did speak to the presiding officer, and she made me understand that it has to do with the picture of the picture on the voters' card as to the picture that they registered with, that they ought to have updated, especially for the elderly persons. They ought to have updated their pictures on the website, official website, before the election, and that is why Beavers isn't recognizing them. But these voters are not having it. They are not taking the excuse because they said that the picture is not far off from what they actually look like currently. So they're still waiting and seeing if they can rectify it as soon as possible.
Wow.
So, but I hope, you talked about a bit of unruliness a little while ago. Is it because of the process and all of that, or there's something else?
No, because of the process, totally because of the process.
Okay. But I'm glad about something that you said, Kumbi. You said that even though the PDP candidate complained about the process, he said it was, I don't know the word that you used, but he still went ahead and voted, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much. I'm pretty sure we'll be getting more from you as events unfold today. Thank you again, Kumbi.
You're welcome.